Hey you! This video is brought to you by Jailers Just USA, but fueled by Dankwell. This week, be sure to visit Just USA and J-List and buy some fucking kawaii merchandise. Use this coupon code for 5% off your order and feel
tired of hearing about your damn email.
Link in the description. Welcome back to IGN, your source for gaming information. Whether it's posting thinly veiled op-eds on representation in gaming, or our podcast condemning when actual diversity comes to games. From clickbait articles talking about cosplay, to fat slobs condemning an entire artistic medium to misogyny. We're IGN, and we are consistently contradictory. IGN, the layoffs can't come soon enough.
So I'll just start this commentary by thanking those of you that have linked me to the numerous articles and videos from IGN that are crazy and ridiculous in terms of the shit that is said. You know, there is a lot of weird shit that has been put out by IGN, and I don't know how to take it. You know, you look into what is being said and how far they're willing to go to say certain things, but really the question then becomes, do they actually believe this? Or are they simply trying to fill airtime with flavor of the month fucking Bay Area bullshit? Or are they saying these things cynically? There are so many questions that arise, and I have a friend of mine who I've discussed this with, and he's convinced that these people are a mixture of fucking idiots with nothing more than talking points to just throw out there, and that's all they got, and cynics. He's convinced that that's the situation at hand, but I think that there's always something that underlines this kind of ideology. I don't think that it just comes out of the fucking woodwork and people just get it into their minds to start using particular talking points on the subject matter of art, especially. You know, if you hear a Christian, a right-wing Christian, talk about rock music and it being satanic, it wasn't just an epiphany they had, okay? They have been told this. It has been argued to them or lectured to them, and they have accepted this, and they are espousing that same view to other people. It didn't just come out of nowhere. It has to come from somewhere. And so in relation to these figures at IGN, it's very hard for me to tell whether this is coming from within IGN or it's just, again, this cluster, this echo chamber. But in the end, I think that IGN is some hack piece of shit corporation that is just looking to squeeze the people, the consumers, for as much money as they're willing to give them and for as many views as they can net. And I don't think that they're willing to back down from the positions that they've taken in the past, which have been unequivocally anti-fucking gamer, anti-fucking consumer. They back the industry in the end, and if they're going to back anybody, it's going to be insiders and ideologues over gamers. I mean, you just wait and see. However, for this video, and this is my segue, we're going to talk about a channel or a publication based in Australia that is actually financed by the Australian taxpayers. In this case, we're talking about Good Game, or otherwise known as GG, in Australia, and this is actually brought to you by the Australian Broadcasting Channel or Corporation, or here's the fucking Wikipedia, read it your fucking self. That's who's funding this, that's who's paying for it, you, if you happen to be an Australian. And what's funny is that just recently I have been unable to actually view this video, and I don't know why. I just happened to luck out, and I was still able to download this video, so that way I can show it to you if you happen to be outside of Australia. And together, we can sit here and listen to this publicly financed fucking gaming publication outright fucking lie to you. And I'm not giving any equivocation on that, okay? This publication produced this, broadcasted it, and it is outright fucking lies. So let's watch.
Games have the ability to transport us to different cities and worlds, many of which are multicultural, some even multi-species. But as technology is bringing us more human and realistic characters, we're still seeing a distinct lack of diversity when it comes to racial representation in games.
Cheer up, handsome.
This is not a documentary. This is not nonfiction. This is not someone's fucking autobiography. We are talking about fucking art. You know, I hate to put that much of a fine point on this, but you guys want to talk about what's racist about the Redskins in football? You guys want to talk about how you have a fucking problem with Hollywood and fucking this, look at this guy, look at this MRA putting fucking propaganda in his fucking movies and all that. You want to do that? Fine. You can do that. I don't give a shit at all. But in relation to gaming, you know, this is the one area where I do care. This is the one fucking area where I'm not giving you fucking fascists a goddamn inch. You want to manipulate and censor a fucking artistic medium.
You look at the research that's been done in the last few years, it's very clear that gaming has a particular problem with not representing racial minorities well. So the statistics show that most characters in games of all kinds are white, and that minority characters are racial stereotypes.
El hombre. Cesar's giving you a big job, muy importante.
And minority characters also tend to be minor characters in a game. They'll either be non-player characters or the support cast, really.
You've lost your nerve, Ishii.
I honor my oath to serve you, despite your recklessness.
So there's already a lot to get to in this, but I'm going to keep this brief. The first thing that I have to say is the study that's already been presented, and I'll show the picture right now of the actual study. It will be in the sources of this video. Go look at it yourself. It's fucking bullshit propaganda. This is totally and utterly a fucking study that was crafted around an already fucking assumed conclusion. Go read the fucking methodology. Go look at the fucking data for where they found these games and what they actually used. It's fucking bullshit. This is pure propaganda. Second point is, in relation to this, you are assuming that based on the fact that there are games with white protagonists, that is a problem. But the games that they pick here, some of which are made in Japan. And I'm sorry, but they're not fucking white! Excuse my anger, but I'm so fucking sick of this fucking assumption that every game made in Japan has white fucking protagonists. They're Japanese, you fucking racists! And we're just going to leave it at that. That's as far as I need to go on that. Every game that is made in Japan is about fucking Japanese people, unless it directly says otherwise. You're not hearing them talking American, are you? No, they're fucking speaking Japanese because they are fucking Japanese. You fucking retards.
There are a lot of characters in games that are pretty blatant stereotypes.
You're not a customer, are you?
A blatant sexualized, fantasized woman, or a black stereotype that's just a very stereotypical version of a black person. And those stereotypical portrayals of different identities, I believe, and a lot of us believe, reinforce this idea or these limiting ideas of these different identities and are doing nothing to help the issue. And if anything, they're making things worse.
Hey, Cracker! What you doing in there?
Gaming is not a fucking vacuum. There is not a single fucking developer that is making all these fucking games. This is a global industry. You just pointed to, from what I've seen, 2 French games. One game, I would have to look up to see if this is actually Rockstar London or Rockstar North or one of the Rockstars in North America. I just don't know which one to even point to because there are so many different offshoots of fucking Rockstar that are in so many different fucking countries. And then you have like one game that's in America, and then I think one game that was in Japan. Like, do you not fucking get that this is a global industry and you don't speak for it? You don't know what's in the minds of these fucking devs. Have you ever even met an actual Frenchman? Have you actually met someone from the UK? Have you actually met anyone that isn't some other fucking hipster cunt in San Francisco? Have you ever met someone outside of your own country? Do you actually have any basis that you can say that you understand what their perspective is in making these characters and developing these games? I don't think you do. I don't think you have any fucking authority on this.
This situation is not strictly limited to games made in the West. For example, games made in Japan still contain some very harsh racial stereotypes.
Kill yourself, seriously. You're the ruiner of all things good. Seriously. No, this is not a joke. He's going to be a joke coming. There's no fucking joke coming. You are Satan's spawn, filling the world with bile and garbage. You are fucked and you are fucking us. Kill yourself. It's the only way to save your fucking soul. Kill yourself.
Not a shred of self-awareness to say that you have some fucking lanky, white, dumb fuck Aussie talking shit, condemning Japanese-made games because they're stereotypical of blacks. Are you talking about the fucking Aboriginals in Australia? Who the fuck are you speaking about right now? You know, there aren't just blacks. It's not like fucking, there is this hive mind of dark-skinned individuals in the fucking world. Not every fucking black person is of the same nationality. Not every fucking black person is of the same perspective. Not every fucking black person is in America.
It's a little different than a blockbuster because you're not interacting with the movie the same way you are interacting with these characters in games.
For those that use these games a lot and are deeply absorbed in them, it's very likely to create damaging stereotypical views.
Now, some of you may have missed it, but the person that just spoke is Professor Gillian Triggs, who is the president of the Australian Human Rights Commission. Now, the first question that comes to mind, if you're like me anyways, is why the fuck are we listening to the president of the Australian Human Rights Commission on fucking video games? Why are you talking to her? But hey, there's an answer to that. You'll actually understand in the not too far future as to why we're speaking to her specifically.
So there's one quite recent study that shows that players are much more likely to recognise violent behaviour from a black character quickly in a game than from a white character, which shows that they're expecting a black person to be violent and a white person not to be. So there's a lot of real crossover between what we see on the screen and what we expect in real life.
So here's the problem. Not every country has a native fucking black population. Not every country has an immigrant fucking black population. So already this study is not applicable to so many countries. I mean, how are you going to apply this to Japan? There's an unconscious bias in Japan of hatred of blacks. How? How the fuck is that possible? You have to actually prove that. Because that to me makes no fucking sense. How is this applicable in fucking Africa? Is there this unconscious bias in all these African nations towards other Africans? Like, what the fuck? This is such fucking propaganda. This is just such fucking bullshit, bordering on nihilism, when you assume the absolute worst in people, and then you try to apply it to the world. But hey, you know what? Maybe they've done the fucking science. Maybe they know for a fact that billions of people hate blacks. So let's take a look at the study. Oh wait, they didn't reference it. I don't know what the study is. There's nothing in the description. There's nothing in the fucking video. Oh, isn't that kind of weird that they cited the first study, but not this one? What a coincidence. It's not like they're assuming the worst in billions of people and trying to apply a total piece of propaganda to say why games should be censored. This isn't at all fascistic, by the way. None of this in any way is fascistic in this approach. You talk about a study and then you don't cite it. You assume the worst in absolutely everybody, but it's just based on one study. One fucking study! But hey, whatever. We're just talking about demonizing people throughout the planet, especially gamers. So this is the end of the first of two parts regarding this particular video by Good Game. And you can expect another part to be up soon. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow me on Twitter and all the rest.